Hello everyone, I'm Viral Vinny, and I'm eating my lunch because as East Coast people, E3 first starts like halfway through today, so this is my lunch. But we got lots of big, awesome Microsoft stuff to talk about, so let's just get right into it, go full flat force, because honestly there was a lot of stuff to talk about. First thing they opened off their press conference with was Xbox One S at $299. I think so. Originally, when it came out, people thought this was the new HD thing. No, it's just there's still conflicting reports, but from what I take, it's just the Elite or like the PlayStation 4 3, the Slim model. It's just the the new one. But yeah, for $299, pretty good price, right? Admittedly for all that. Yeah, so that's not a big news. Then they briefly talked about Gears of War 4. I've never played Gears of War 4. I'm a hardcore PlayStation fan, but I mean, it looks awesome. Lots of explosions and bangies and blood everywhere. But yeah, so just... But then they transitioned from Gears 4 to saying that it's going to have crossplay and cross-save with PC and Mac. And that was a big thing they played up this year, was all the cross-play and all the cross-saves. With all the people who say like Minecraft and all that stuff, like, oh, you can play with PC players or you can take it on the go, and all this big emphasis on the whole connected ecosystem thing. After that, some random Gears of War boss joins Killer Instinct. I'm sure he's a big bad guy from like the third game or whatever. He's very generic looking. He looks like every other Locust. I know his name's like General something or other, but he did not look like, compared to Battletoads and whatever the other one we were saying, or the Arbiter. Those have distinct, like, yeah, those look awesome. Here it's just like oh, okay, some random. It'd be like having I don't know, like a robot from Titanfall in Killer Instinct. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's cool, but it's just like, eh. Forza Horizon 3 got revealed. Cars, driveys, you can drive with the wheels, you can drive with the controls. It's awesome. Then they also re-showed Recore. It just looks like a third-person action platformer shooter MacGyver thing. I didn't get a real feel for it. It's just, we saw more of it as opposed to the trailer. But nothing like blew me away though. It's like, wow, this is amazing. After that, he showed Final Fantasy 15, which I was like, oh god, don't say there's an Xbox exclusive or something. No, they just show gameplay to show, hey, Final Fantasy is on Xbox. It's not just a PlayStation thing. If you enjoy it on your Xbox, you can enjoy it too. I think a lot of people forget that, but it's just, nothing major. You saw a big boss battle, like a lot of, looks awesome, like huge, like it makes God of War look like a Pansies game. And the fact that you can switch between characters and like do all these different combos with them, that's awesome. It's just more awesomeness of the same. The Division got DLC. Yeah. Battlefield 1. Yeah. Then they talk about some of the features, saying so that you'll be able to, and I know PlayStation has Spotify, but I don't know if they have a destined app, but they're saying you can get background music, so you can stream music off your Xbox and listen to it while you play, if you're so inclined. I mean, personally, you should focus on the game as opposed to, because if you're not, I mean, I watch lots of Let's Plays while I game, but like that's just because I do collectibles and stuff. Anyway, the point is, cute. Cortana is coming to the voice app thing, even though they, in the Xbox One S, like the new model, the Slim, whatever they're calling it, removes Kinect support. So the only way for you to have that feature is to get the Kinect, and it's a whole weird thing. They were just saying they're also adding these things called clubs, which are basically communities, like on the PlayStation, where it's just like, hey, like the only one I'm part of is like, I think it's like comic book fans or whatever, or comic movie fans, where it's just a group of people talking about comic movies. It's like groups on Facebook or whatever. So you can, beyond just gaming, if like there's a sports team you want to follow on Xbox or whatever, you can find people who like that same thing and learn about them and then play games with them maybe through that. They're also looking for group, which is basically like an ad list where it's just like, hey, I like multiplayer games, 1 to 4 player, I can play on Tuesdays, and then people will reach out to you and hopefully you'll play together. And then there's Arena, which I didn't pay attention. I think it's just something to the effect of, it's like leagues. So tournaments. So much in the same way, like, you know, with Smash Brother or other games like that, you can set up tournaments. And PlayStation has a similar thing with like the play dates, but here it's just like you get everyone together and then you say, all right, this is when the tournament begins. These are when these matches begin. So it's a lot easier to set up tournaments and stuff like that. Awesome, generic but awesome stuff. And then that's when they went big into crossplay. You'll be able to put your saves and play with other players and all that stuff. You'll be able to transfer everything together between Windows 10 and mobile. And I know a lot of people get really excited, and it was just like, nope, it's just between PC and mobile. Really good. It's like, it's very reminiscent of the, I guess the thing is, the Vita is to me. So the fact that you can crossplay with your PC, the fact that, even though it's a little bit harder, because like they're saying like, oh, you can stop your game on the Xbox and pick it up on your computer. It's like, even with a laptop, that's still a very cumbersome thing to hold around and lug around. Like a Vita is just something you just go like, do. Like, it's just, yeah. But it is a nice feature. It's very welcoming. After that, they announced custom controllers, which is you can switch the little buttons, the plates, the skin, customize it. They said, according to Kinda Funny, it is $80 for a normal one, $90 for an engraven. Perfectly reasonable for something of that, you know, seeing how normal controllers are like $50-$60 anyway. Like, it's expensive, but it's understandable, especially all the new stuff like the touchpad and all the stuff that they can do. The game, inside. So here we're going on a mini rant, people. Just, I don't know, Inside is the follow-up from the people who did Limbo, and I thought Limbo was just okay. But when it came out, everyone was like, 10 out of 10, perfect, amazing, man, greatest game ever, so great, look at what these indies can do. That was a problem. It came out like 2010. This was like before The Walking Dead, before Journey, before the Unfinished One, before all these awesome indie games. It was the first one, so that's why people are like, this is not this is actually kind of good, and people just hyped it up so much, and like they're all got like 10s and 10s. Everyone's like, it's my favorite game ever, and like it's garbage. The platform, it sucks. What is it? The physics sucks. The game's just okay. It's not deserving of this great, amazing game. It would be like if we hyped up Mercenaries on the PS2 or whatever, Mercenaries on the PS3. Be like, this is the pinnacle of gaming. It's like, no, it's just Mercenaries. I love Mercenaries. It's, you blow stuff up, but it's just Mercenaries. It's not this Magnus Opus. So, they announced their game. Inside comes out. I see. Inside is released on June 29th. So, informally, I am going to be scrambling because for the longest time, I've been saying, fuck this game. I'm not going to play it. I don't even care. I'm just going to do a rant about why these games are bullshit. Why Limbo was bullshit and more, but there you go. Just little... If you liked Limbo, it looks the exact same, but in 3D, as opposed to the flat 2D shadows. It's actually got characters, but it's the exact same, like, 2D side view, whatever. Then they talked about a bunch of indie games. No release date on Cuphead. It was annoying. Then they talked about Ark Dino. Ark, like The Last Survival or whatever, and then, which is a dinosaur game. It's Minecraft, dinosaurs. Yeah. And just talked a wee bit about early access games on Xbox and a bunch of other ones come into it, like DayZ and a bunch of other ones. But nothing too crazy there. We Happy Few, which is a weird game. I saw pictures of this game a while ago, but I didn't actually know what it was. Apparently it's been slightly re-altered, but it looks crazy. It's about basically you have these happy pills, and then one day you decide to stop taking the happy pills, and it turns out like the world you live in is this decrepit. Like the big standout scene is that they're hitting a pinata, and then because you're off the happy pills, you start to hallucinate. You see the real world. It's not a pinata. It's a dead rat, and they're just like eating the innards of a dead rat. They're like, what delicious candy. It's like, okay, well, this is weird. And then Gwent, the card game from Witcher 3. I was going to say Hearthstone. No, the card game from Witcher 3 is becoming its own dedicated game. They're adding, they're tweaking it a little to flush it out, but basically it's getting its own game. This one was a cock tease because it was, so the trailer starts out with Hayachi, and you're like, okay, it's Tekken 7. And then Akuma appears, and you're like, oh, it's Tekken versus Street Fighter. They finally did it. The rumors from long ago, it's true. And no, it's exactly what it is. Akuma is a playable character in Tekken 7. Maybe that's a tease that 2020 that Street Fighter or Tekken cross Street Fighter is on the horizon, but for now it's just a cute little, oh, okay. Or maybe it's just like, I mean, well, we have this license in DO, so we had to do this just so we don't get sued. But either way, it was cute. They, as a lot of IGN people pointed out, like Max Schofield and Damon and Greg Miller, a lot of people pointed out, this one I did not see because they freaking showed the crowd for like 90% of the trailer, but it was Dead Rising 4. It had a Christmas song, and there was a lot of explosion, and he had like a crossbow with like candy canes. So it looks fun, it looks silly. But yeah, I wish I could have seen more to know how. It just looks like right now, it just looks like more Dead Rising. There is nothing I could see that made me go, wow, this is next gen. It just, did a preview for Scalebound. Looks awesome. I like the fact that you use your dinosaur buddies as like combos, so they'll like launch you up and then fling you, and you can like attack the enemies. Oh, that's cool. Then they did a preview for Sea of Thieves, which looks cool, looks awesome. It's kind of like No Man's Sky, where in fact they're like, we just dropped a bunch of players in this world and let them run wild and see what the crazy kids did. And it's cool because they just instinctively got into a ship battle. And that's all cool. The big thing for me is just like, what is the actual that's what I'm saying, is there an actual end goal? Are you trying to find like a pirate, or are you trying to amass a fortune, or like is it just like explore? Is it just it's open world, just explore, who cares? But you know, it still looked beautiful. It looked fun, like the fact that you could repair your ship while it was sinking and swab the deck, all that silly stuff pirates do. It looks awesome. Then they briefly showed a teaser for State of Decay 2. Awesome. I have never played it. Seen lots of Let's Plays. Looks decent enough game. Halo Wars 2, another teaser. They just briefly said like you're in some other place, you're fighting some new enemy, yada yada. Teaser. And then the big one that ended it off was the Xbox One Scorpion is real. It's basically, Xbox 1.5. This is why the name is so stupid. PS4.5, simple. 1.5 is like, okay, wait, anyway. So basically, there's no point going over it. We've talked about it for months. But yeah, so it's just, they claim like you won't have to upgrade. The games will work across everything, yada yada. You get the most power out of it. But the more I've been, like originally I said, I don't see what the problem is. But then the more I think about it, it's like, well, as Bethesda said, they're making a Fallout game for VR. We still need to figure out like how Oculus is going to work on Xbox and all that. So I'm just like, how are they going to do? So it's just the fact that you can do VR on these new consoles without like if it's just a box that sits there and it's perfectly fine, there's no difference between the two, I could really give two shits. It's a box, who cares? But if it's actually like runs better, professionalism, I don't even know that number. If it's just the two versions are the exact same, that's fine. But if it's like it runs vastly better on the Scorpion, that's when it gets into the because yeah, they're just like they're saying lots of crazy big made up. We're like, it's got 16 teraflops. It's like, whoa, that's a lot of teraflops. But overall, so yes, that was a big brief one. I'm just going to eat because again, the Ubisoft starts in like 40 minutes. But yeah, so admittedly, there's nothing that made me go, whoa, like as a non-Xbox gamer. Even I can appreciate the backwards compatibility they did last year. This year was a lot of solid games and solid features and all that stuff. Also, did I mention they mentioned Minecraft in there? Did I not write it down? Yeah, Minecraft is in there somewhere. It's coming. I think it was part of that whole like crossplay thing. It's like, hey, we're adding texture packs to the mobile game, and you can play Minecraft with PC and mobile players. I don't know why you would, because the PC players would be like building these great monuments, and then the mobile players are like, hold up, I gotta, okay, there, move left. It just, why would you use that control screen when you have the PC? But yeah, overall, the thing that impressed me the most was just like, yeah, there's a lot of solid games. None of them blew my mind, but they're all solid 7s, 8s. There was maybe like 6s, but there was nothing that was like garbage. I was just like even at Bethesda, with the end of Dishonored, I was like, all right, I get it. And even with the Elder Scrolls Online stuff, I'm like, all right, whatever, I don't care. There was nothing here I didn't go, I don't care. It's just, there was nothing that made me go, wow, lose my mind. Except for that ending with the Scorpion. Because for the future, because obviously PlayStation is going tonight, and we'll see what happens there. But obviously, it's going to be a big change for E3 going forward, for the gaming going forward. And we can get all the logisticals of how do we present them, how do we talk about them, yada, yada, yada. But overall, Microsoft had a bunch of solid games that, again, for me as an outsider, there was nothing I was like, wow, man, I really want an Xbox One. But if I had an Xbox One, there'd be plenty of games for me to continue to justify, like, oh, okay, cool, Scalebound, or Cuphead, or like stuff like that. Like 1 or 2 games where I'm like, okay, like this was not a total waste. But as an outsider, there still was nothing that is like, wow, I have to get this console, I gotta rush. Except for those custom controllers. Really hope PlayStation does it, because, oh man, like, right now I'm just like, well, maybe I'll just do my name. Oh, I mean, but a Kingdom Hearts controller would be nice. Oh, but I mean, well, why don't we do a Crash Bandicoot one? You know, put that out into the world. Play Crash Bandicoot PS4 with my PS4 controller. And then I just like, oh god, there's so many controllers I could get. But either way, because the PlayStation ones are usually, it's just like, the Uncharted one I think was like, it came out, like it was a blue console and it just had a blue controller. It's like, I definitely like the Xbox controllers better because they have the paint jobs and the decals and all that stuff on the controller itself. But, rambling aside, overall, it was a solidly great showing. Really good. Nothing bad. Nothing good. Just, again, people are like, it was amazing. It was pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good. But yeah, so I am going to sleep and eat for the next 50 minutes. And then Ubisoft starts. And then, yeah.